Okay, good morning everybody. Today we're going to make a omelet. There's many different kinds of ways to make omelets, French omelets, country omelets. This is going to be my take on it. Let me show you first what ingredients I'm going to be using. So we have everything already prepared. Right here we have some grilled asparagus. Got a nice little char on them. I'm a texture person. I should probably just start by saying that I like to have everything a certain texture. A lot of people will cook their ingredients, saute them in the pan as they're making the omelet, make it in the same pan. That's fine, that's good, and I also make them that way too sometimes, like if I'm in a hurry. If I really want to make an over-the-top omelet, this is what I do. I keep everything kind of firm. I have sautéed mushrooms, grilled asparagus, like I said. There's some applewood smoked bacon here, and a little bit of wilted spinach. I'm just using what cheese we have on hand. We had some Swiss here, and some aged cheddar. And then over here I have 2 eggs. You can make a 2-egg or a 3-egg omelet. This time we're just doing a 2-egg. There's also some white in there. That's a little bit of heavy cream. I add that in there just as some richness, some flavor. It has a buttery, adds like a buttery component to it, a richness. So I really like, you don't have to use that. You don't have to use a cream or a milk. I do when I'm making my omelets, if I have it on hand. Okay, so we're just whisking it. This is a really important step. You really want to take a good, 30, 40 seconds and like really vigorously stir in your cream or milk and just really get it frothy. This is an important step that you want to take because right now you're incorporating air by whisking it. So you want to whisk it very vigorously for a good 30-40 seconds and without stopping. And I'll show you what it should look like. It's about right. So you know that it's ready when you have a complete top layer of those small little air bubbles on top. That's perfect. That's what you want to look for. So we know this is ready now. Over here we're just using a burner. I like to use the burner. I mean, you can use just your stove top is fine. We just have this on hand, so we're just kind of like, we're just using it. It's on a very small, low flame. What I like to do is, I don't like to cook it on very high. I want the egg to be delicate. I want it to be completely cooked through with no runny, but I still want it to be soft and delicate. I don't want it to be like brown, burned. I don't want the texture to turn to like almost papery. The best way to describe it, kind of crackly, crunchy. I don't want the egg to turn that way. I want the egg to be soft. I want it to be like a set custard, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm finished. So I just put a little bit of butter in the pan. I just want it on like low, like medium, like not medium high, not high. If you hear like a high fry, like shh, like a high sound, then it's definitely too hot, and your eggs are gonna get brown. So I'd say about a medium-ish. It should sound like a sizzle when it goes into the pan, like just a light sizzle. All right, so we're about there. All right, and should be good. See that light sizzle? It's exactly what we wanted, not a hard fry. All right, so we're just gonna let this do its thing for a second. The actual omelet cooking, this is only gonna take about a couple minutes. Again, this is the way that I make when I really want to make a good omelet. This is what I do. You can cook your ingredients first in the pan before adding the egg. That's fine if that's what you want to do. So we're going to let that cook just for a minute. Get all our ingredients in the fry. As soon as it starts to set just a tiny little bit, we're going to just start folding in the sides a little bit. This is making little air pockets in here. So I'm just basically pulling the set part of the egg to the center of the pan and letting all the different loose runny part of the egg just kind of be able to make contact with the pan and just slowly start to set. There we go. So it just takes about a minute. Get everything kind of solidified. And then what I'm doing now is, without taking the pan off of the heat, I'm just rolling it around. So any loose egg is just going to kind of just work its way to the edges. As you can see, some of it's just kind of pouring around. So this is how it's set. Okay. So I'm going to just quick flask, just warm these up real quick in a separate pan here. Just so it's warm. I just had this on high. I'm not cooking them, I'm just reheating them. All this is already cooked. So that way it's not, you'll see why I'm doing this. You can see the pieces of the asparagus. Like this is like umami, kind of like I'm a texture person, you know, and I like to like keep the integrity of the vegetables. A light on there, sorry about that. There we go. So I'm just heating it up. This is only gonna take about 10 seconds. Our omelet's almost done. So we don't want to put these in there at room temperature. We want it to go in with the hot omelet, but it's not gonna have enough time. You'll see why. It's not gonna have enough time when we flip the omelet, because it's basically just gonna be melting the cheese and that's it. So now back to the omelet. Pretty much almost done. We're gonna go ahead and flip this omelet. All right. We're gonna put in a little bit of everything. Probably have some extra. This is too much stuff here. We can make another omelet in a minute. So lots of asparagus, some bacon, some of the wilted spinach for flavor. There we go. We already got some mushrooms in there. And grabbing some cheese here. So now it's pretty much done. All we want to do is melt this cheese. We don't want it to cook any longer because I want it to be nice and delicate. Some beautiful cheese in there. So we're just gonna flip it one more time. You know, manipulate the temperature as you feel you have to. I turned it down or would turn it off accordingly, depending on how hot I think it is. This is pretty much done. So you're gonna see the finished product in just a second. I'm just turning the heat up just a tad bit just to get the edges. We're just melting it. The egg is completely cooked all the way through. There's no runny left. So we're just going to do one more flip here, and then it's getting ready to go on the plate. So here we go. And get our plate ready. And this puppy is done. This is my version of an omelet here. There we go. Everything's incorporated. Cheese is melting, everything's oozing in there, everything's redistributing, so there we go. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think. Have a good day.